Since it was announced back in 2021, I have been waiting to get my hands on a Steam Deck. Unfortunately, I live where new first generation tech is not allowed on the same calendar year, or for consecutive years for that matter. All I could do is just look at this beauty and search online every once in a while. But finally, one day, I lucked out and found it available on Amazon. But it kept giving me an error and won't let me check out. Then I realized, sometimes bad things happen for good reasons. You see, I can buy those mediocre 256GB or bougie 512GB normie models. No, my name starts with an S. This 64GB is the only one that slaps. Just wait and you will see why. So I put in the order and soon enough it was at my hand. Unboxing the package was pretty straightforward. There's the Steam Deck in its case, a USB-C charging adapter, and a very concise user manual of operation. The charger that came with it supports up to 45 watts USB-C power delivery, but it uses Type G AC outlet, so I can't really use it in India as is. By the way, the main case with Steam Deck has a tamper-proof seal on it. That's actually pleasantly surprising. All electronic packages should do that. Good job, Valve. And there we have it. Glorious. Let's turn it on. Wait, what if it needs power? Yep, that was it. Once I put it on charge, it turned on and took me to that out-of-box experience welcome screen. The setup was painless, if not time-consuming, but it's just a one-time effort, right? Hang on, I think this welcome experience has bonus level in it. Okay, finally, we can play some games. Huh? Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the 64GB situation. There's barely enough space left for a AAA game. But you see, I knew this would be the case, so I didn't just order the main Steam Deck. I also got this 512GB NVMe SSD to go with it. Even though this SSD is a banger by spec, it was actually a lot cheaper to buy separately with the 64GB model than buying the stock 512GB model that sometimes has slower SSD. Alright, now it's time to upgrade the SSD. For that, you need to open it up, which actually isn't that difficult to do, and Valve even has an official video on that. Just be careful and gentle about prying the case open. It definitely helps to shut it down first. And if you put any microSD card in the expansion slot, remember to take it out. Bad things do happen, you guys. Not a whole lot we can do about that. Anyway, where was I? So, to get to the storage upgrade, you will have to remove this piece of metal, which works double duty as a heat spreader as well as the RF shield for the Wi-Fi module that sits underneath. After removing it, you can see the shielded eMMC storage in the M.2 socket. But before you take it out, make sure to remove the battery connector for safety. The 2230 SSD module is secured with only one screw. But be careful with the metallic wrap that comes with it. We're gonna need that for later. Now, the 512GB NVMe SSD that I got is from Transcend. Although the brand doesn't really matter here, just make sure it's the same M.2 2230 form factor. The regular and more common 2280 M.2 SSDs won't fit in here. Carefully put the heatsink on the new SSD and slot it in the socket. Put the screw back on to secure it gently, don't over tighten it. By the way, remember to put the battery connector back on before starting to close it. The metal sheet goes next, secure it with 4 screws, be gentle about it. Same goes for all the outer shell as well. They all use self-tapping screws, make sure not to damage its threads. And with that, we now have a very expensive paperweight. because the SSD has no OS installed, and if you think you'll find SteamOS image on its homepage, oh, you sweet summer child, our princess is in another castle. Only accessible with this special URL and a license agreement. Write the image on a USB flash drive with something like a Balena Etcher, put it on the SteamDeck and boot into its live environment. Choose the option to reimage SteamDeck and confirm. At this point, it will ask you to take your dog for a walk. Once you're back, you'll be presented with this screen that says you should make a coffee, do your laundry and your taxes, and in that order. Although the reason it takes so long is because it actually installs everything twice. Follow this XDA developer forum link to know more about it if you're interested. Alright, finally, we're done setting it up and ready to install some games. Oh wait, hang on, forgot about the welcome screen bonus levels. Don't worry, I got this. Yep, finally, we're done setting it up and ready to install some games. And while we're at it, why just install one game? We can install a dozen AAA games and then some. We got plenty of storage to spare, so we can even install some software too. SteamOS is a fully functional Linux distro, mind you, and in the desktop mode, you can just use it as a PC. The GUI software store in KDE called Discover is pretty awesome actually. But let's not get distracted. I have a game to play.
Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood. Thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed. Cause the NCPD will not let that go.
Do I suck with controllers? Yes. Does the FPS suffer at high graphics settings? Also yes. But this is a portable handheld Linux game console playing AAA games with stunning graphics. It has insane specs for even a full-time chuggy laptop of this price range, and even first-party expansion options to go with as such. The ecosystem is super open, not only allowing but practically encouraging users to upgrade it. I didn't have to pay a premium to boost it to 5 times faster storage. I actually saved over $200 doing so. And if you are into personalization and customizations with all aftermarket parts, go nuts. The world is your deck.